Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I'm going to be doing some small annual plantings. I've got two spots, one on this side of this little bit of turf and one on the other. I had prepped that other space about 2 months ago and planted some tulips there, and they were absolutely spectacular. That space, because I added my pine bark and cow manure, or pine bark and compost, really wouldn't matter what combo you go with. Since I've already prepped that space 2 months ago, I'm just going to put a small amount of pine bark and a small amount of cow manure back on it and work that in with that electric tiller. This is a new space that I'm doing here, so I'll put a more generous amount of bark, maybe 2 inches of bark and a 50-pound bag of cow manure here. It's a small space, but I like to plant my annual flowers almost in pure organic material. I will work it into this native soil, so there'll be a little bit of soil in it, but it'll be mostly bark and cow manure that they're planted in. Works spectacular. I've got some pansies on the other side of the driveway over there that are just beautiful right now from the same exact technique that I did in the fall with those. And it's inexpensive. The pine bark soil conditioner is usually pretty inexpensive, and a bag of cow manure or a bag of compost isn't a whole lot. The other area I like to save money on is these flowering annuals bloom all summer long and grow all summer long. So there's really no point in buying big giant plants. You'll see me use larger containers when I'm doing container plantings, because if I put one of these little teeny tiny plants in a container, it just kind of looks silly. I do use larger pieces when I'm doing container plants, but in the ground, you'll see me use what we call bedding plants. What I sell at my garden center are actually 4-packs. There's 12 4-packs in a tray. That's 48 pieces in a tray. For whatever reason, the cell counts have gotten much smaller over time. Now there's like 32 in most trays and that kind of thing. I like to get 4-packs or 6-packs when I can. These annuals are going to put on a great big show all summer long, but they are disposable. They are going to be trashed at the end of the season, so the least amount of money I can put into it, the better for me. This combo I'm going to use over here, this spot is going to be in and out of the sunlight all day long, so I used some things that I thought would take part shade. I'm using this Ageratum, which has this blue flower on the top, and I'm using begonias. There's a lot of different kinds of begonias. You can get begonias with green leaves, or begonias with this burgundy or red leaf, and then you can get white and pink and red, and then you can get begonias that don't bloom at all, that are just done for foliage, and all different kinds of begonias, but they're fantastic. If you have a part shade area or a covered porch, you're going to see me put these in containers. On my south-facing house here, I don't get any sun on the front porch during the summer, so begonias work fantastic for that. And then I'm going to use this Dusty Miller, which will just have this silver foliage all summer long. And I think these three things work really well together, and they'll work well, where it's this part shade condition all summer long. And there'll be times when they'll be in the direct sun, and I'm just mirroring these two sides. But like I say, that side's been prepped already, so you're going to see me put a small amount of material to just refresh that, and this side over here a more generous amount. I'm going to work it in with the tiller, and then I kind of ignore the spacing on these. I will put them a little closer than the tags say. If the tags say 8 inches apart, I'll probably put them more like 6 inches apart. The Dusty Miller and the begonias will both end up probably in the 10-12 inch range over the course of the summer. The Ageratum stays much smaller, so I'll keep it in the front. And so that's my plan on that. It's just quick and easy. Till in some organic material. You can put annuals in the native soil, but they'll underperform. They just do. You'll see them sit there. They just won't be vigorous all summer. They won't put on that big show. In terms of fertilizing my annual beds, I don't think it really matters. You'll see me or hear me talk about organic fertilizers for all my shrubs and trees and my vegetable garden over there and that kind of thing. But something that's in a temporary space where I'm refreshing it all the time, buy whatever fertilizer you want to that includes the word bloom or flower in the title of it, and just follow the directions on that for how often you're supposed to be reapplying it, and push as much as you can on these and get as much out of them as you can, since they're a temporary addition to the garden. As always, Holly is out here supervising me, making sure I get these things right. I've got some extra mulch here from where I had mulched this space. I've got some other projects going on, so I'll save that for those projects. I was going for a red, white, and blue theme here, I guess, or white, red, and blue. I could have done a lot of other combinations here. I could have definitely used a white begonia instead of the red begonia there, and then use something like a Coleus, which would also work well in this dappled sunlight here. There's lots of different Coleus. These flower, but they're not really grown for their flowers. They're grown for the foliage. I think I counted 15 varieties at my garden center when I was looking at these, everything from yellow to black foliage that could have gone in there. The other thing that would have worked well are Impatience, and there are red and white Impatience that I could have just replaced one of these items, or I could go with just a completely different kind of thing here and use pink and green foliage begonia. That would actually look very good in here. Now that I look at it, maybe that would have actually been better. That may match both of these better than the red, but this will look great over time, and I'll show you updates, of course, on everything out here, and I mirrored it on the other side over here. Of course, the shadows are really funky this morning, but it looks pretty good here. And again, I used half as much material on that other side as I did over here. So thank you very much for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for future videos.